Ok, no me demoré mucho, era algo que tenía que resolver y ya estoy de vuelta. Soy el Torga, vamos a terminar con la historia de los Finch en este último video, en esta última parte, y vamos a desentrañar el secreto de los últimos miembros de la familia Finch. Que en este caso, como pueden ver, me falta Louis, Don y Eddie, que se encuentran acá. Son los últimos tres miembros de la familia. Y bueno, aquí también dice Sanjay, pero es como una hojita. Dawn es la mamá de Edith. Milton fue el hermano. Luis aún no le conozco, pero vamos a ver qué pasó. Muy bien. Ahora avancemos a esta última parte donde ya nos vamos a la parte más
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
parte más alta de la casa, ¿no? Esto ya me parece increíble. No sé cómo construyeron esto, pero parece un barco y otras cosas más para concluir los últimos pisos de la casa.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Muy bien. Vamos a ver. Luis.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room, except Lewis.
Hmm, ¿qué es lo que podemos ver aquí? Ah, ella era pro legalización, como pueden ver. Tiene ahí su pipa, su cartel de cannabis. Qué loco, ¿eh? Bueno, siempre debe haber un miembro así en la familia, creo. Entonces, veamos, tal vez podamos entrar por acá. Hmm. Oye, qué acogedor cuarto.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Legaliza. Un cuadro creo que de la casa de los Finch. Y algo un poco más psicodélico y... ¿Qué es eso? Parece que le gustaban los videojuegos. Y aquí tenía una refri. Hmm.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Wonderland Turbo. Qué cool. Películas. Eso parece una PlayStation 1 con cartucho medio raro. Interesante. Y una velita aromática. Tiene su diploma del colegio Louis Finch. Orcas Island Regional High School. Cool. Su tele, obviamente ahí tenía que jugar. Y decía, qué raro, no encuentro la tele. Tiene videojuegos y todo, pero no hay tele. Súper loco. Muy bien. Él tenía una computadora, dos pantallas. Qué raro. Nos encontramos con el libro, que nos va a permitir conocer la historia de los Finch. Saludos a todos, bienvenidos otra vez a esta aventura de Edith Finch, en donde vamos a desentrañar los secretos de sus familiares. Como un pequeño contexto para los que no conozcan mucho el juego, La familia de los Finch ha fallecido uno por uno hasta quedar solamente Edith. Todos los otros miembros ya los hemos visto en videos anteriores, lo pueden ver en mi canal de YouTube, si desean, claro. Y hemos visto su parte de sus vidas, en otras hemos visto sus trágicas muertes y cómo han quedado, ¿no? Bueno, prácticamente todos han fallecido excepto Edith. Es lo que estamos viendo en este último capítulo. Luis es el hermano de Edith, según el árbol familiar, que es el hermano pro legalización, ¿no? Entonces, en esta parte vamos a conocer más de su historia. Vamos a ver. Muy bien.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Ah, es el trabajo de Luis.
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to
¿Qué es eso?
wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
¿Qué es
And
esto?
things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then.
Qué
He
cool.
lay dreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
Luistopia.
Then he made musicians.
Creó un mundo a su manera, ¿no? En el
And songs
trabajo.
for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished.
Era por acá, ya le vi. Ah, no, es por acá. Ya, muy bien.
He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Luistopia.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Nueva Louisville. Qué cool.
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
Ah,
In
qué
Louisville,
interesante.
he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her
Vamos a ir al otro lado esta vez.
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Ver cómo su imaginación se apodera de su trabajo,
His
¿no?
imagination. But he was so proud of having created it.
Muy
In his
bien.
own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Miren esos ejércitos, qué cool.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Ay, el tipo sí que estaba bien fumado, ¿eh? Palacio Imperial. Juegos.
I began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker. began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Finch. Wow, hay tanto pescado que él ha cortado que ya ni se da cuenta. Vamos, Luis. ¿Qué puedo hacer? Luis ignora mi presencia. A menos de que yo me convierta en Luis. No, no puedo ingresar a él. No soy Luis.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Qué increíble celebración. Soy Luis otra vez.
Including the wise Calico who had insisted on advising me.
Ok. Hmm.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
¡Ey! ¡Ey, eso!
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Uh. Bueno, sí estaba un poquito mal de la
My
cabeza, ¿eh?
brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Qué pena. Pobre Luis. Pero se acaba de abrir un nuevo lugar por acá. Vamos.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Hmm. No podía subir por el otro lado.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Ya, ¿qué es esto?
But I understand why we left.
Muchos recuerdos.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
De Don para su abuela. 7 ways to create a fulfilling classroom. Don Finch. El libro de Don Finch. Sanjay Kumar, el padre de. El padre de Edith. Supongo que es él. ¿Mm? Sanjay Kumar Evac Specialist. Especialista de evacuación. Una plegaria. Adiós.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
Qué tiempo.
Maybe it should have come sooner.
Un pajarito de papel.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Este es el cuarto de Edith.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Okay.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Qué pena.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Cuando Edith nació.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. when the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. I started seeing things.
Qué loco.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's
¿Qué?
mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
No.
After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
Situación.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Don.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
No. Es el hijo. Es el hijo de Edith. No. Qué brutal. Shirley Dallas. Wow, qué historia. Ian Dallas. Qué increíble. Me quedé con muchas ganas de saber la última historia y saber qué le pasó a la abuela de Edith. Qué lástima que la mamá nunca le dejó conocer el fin. La internaron y... Qué loco. Qué increíble historia, de verdad. Lo había olvidado. Qué increíble historia. No... No sé qué decir. Solamente quiero reflexionar por lo que acabamos de ver. Mientras van pasando los créditos finales de esta manera, en forma de fotos, recuerdos, tanto de las fotografías de los creadores como los recuerdos que nos pone en cada parte de la familia Finch. Qué increíble historia. Vimos todas las historias de los Finch. Qué increíble. Qué increíble historia. Nunca me hubiese imaginado todo esto. Ha sido una increíble y fabulosa aventura gráfica en donde hemos caminado por la casa de los Finch. Y ahora nos damos cuenta de que no fue Edith la última de los Finch, sino que ella tuvo un niño. Y bueno, le dejó un escrito a su hijo. Qué fabuloso. Mm, El equipo Edith Finch, 2012-2017. The End, el fin. Oh, súper lindo, qué lindo este juego de verdad. Me encantó. Ujú. Repetir una historia. Podemos repetir una historia. Oh, genial. Qué cool. Qué cool. De verdad, es una increíble historia. Voy a dejar este juego aquí. Y de verdad, qué fabuloso, ¿no? No sé, me siento un poco extraño. Es como que el final fue perfecto, fue tierno, dulce y me llegó al corazón. no tengo muchas palabras para describir esto, así que simplemente voy a terminar el stream y agradecer a todos los que me acompañaron en esta aventura. Gracias. Nos vemos, soy el Torga y nos veremos en el siguiente video. Hasta la próxima.